Hello, Gorringes are on view, this time for our sale on the 4th of September. Yes, expressions are being made. We're drifting to autumn or towards autumn.
Oh, actually, it's September. We get really nice weather now, don't we?
We do get nice weather in September. So, do we get nice things in the warehouse, though?
Of course we do.
Let's drift backwards and find out.
There's a nice broom.
It's from a job I saw this somewhere, I'm trying to remember where, but lot 1128. Really nice sort of Gothic revival oak settle hall bench with the box seat, nice condition, lovely solid heavy timber, well carved, good looking thing that.
And actually it's not that big, is it? What's that, 4 or 5 feet?
Yeah, it's about 4 foot-ish wide. So yeah, so there's a good start.
Yeah.
Carrying on down then, what else can we find?
Do you know, I like that little stool.
Yeah, it's a sweet little stool, isn't it? 1085 is exactly the sort of furniture that people are liking at the moment, this sort of slightly primitive, you know, country element to it, or what have you.
Put it by the fire.
Put it by the fire, exactly, yes. Seating furniture, well, very smart sofa here.
This is great, isn't it?
Look at that.
This was bought in 1991 for £1,500.
20th of March 1990.
20th
no, it's
of
not,
March.
because this says it's a Turkish wool carpet.
Ah.
Yeah, you didn't read yet. It's. I imagine it's for what you're.
Oh, so this.
Might be for what you're standing on.
Oh.
Which is a nice write-up here about the history of Turkish carpets following the conquest of Persia by Seljuk Turks in the 11th century. Many Turkish people settled in Persia, it goes on to tell you. So I think it might be to do with that carpet.
I think it might.
Which was £1,500 back
right.
in 1991. But this sofa is rather smart, we decided, didn't we?
Yep.
Just in nice condition.
It is. Lot 1124.
1124,
yes,
exactly.
even
So,
though I got the information wrong.
While you're having smart sort of mid-century cool design, you could have 1122.
There's planished.
Pair of sort of planished.
No, there's 4.
4 of them.
Yeah.
Set of 4. I would have made 2 pairs.
They are,
I think it would be more commercial,
okay.
but
They
no,
probably
they are a set of 4 of these lamps that are quite smart.
They are very smart, aren't they?
Clean states. A plans chest underneath. These are always popular. This one not quite as nice as one we saw last time, but 1123 in paint. Over here, from the same source as the other lamps.
Those are great fun,
these are almost these are sort of Giacometti inspired. These thin, skinny figures. 1147. This is just fluff. They clean up quite nicely. These shades. So they're rather smart. Again, more seating furniture, nice little mirror here, look at this, 1096.
Yes, that's pretty, isn't it?
That's sweet, in nice condition, lovely old tarnished plate. A sort of 17th century style oak chest.
That's very dark.
1115, it's very dark, but it's quite rich in colour, isn't it? With these sort of geometric drawer fronts, or near geometric style. Reasonable size, not too big. Lamps, these are not in the sale, but it's a good opportunity to remind you that we have the mid-century specialist furniture sale coming up in October. Yes. And Dave is putting that together, and these rather lovely sort of Murano-looking glass lamps will be in that sale.
Yes.
So keep an eye out for that. What else did we see down here? I'm sure there's something your eyes lit upon. And,
well, I quite like this arts and crafts. I think it's a reoffer, but it is pretty.
Yeah, it is pretty, isn't it?
It has potential.
Yes, it needs a bit of a buff up, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's a bit scuffed and just feels slightly neglected, so it'll be back as lot number 1109. Plenty of carpets down on the floor as usual. A couple of Windsor chairs. This one's got a bit of character. Look, it's all a little bit sort of warped out of shape in a quirky manner. It's got some nice wear and patination from the years. It doesn't have yew-wood. No. It doesn't have a crinoline stretcher, but it's just nice. And 1103, we've seen those picking up a little bit of late. Here's arguably a slightly better model, though it hasn't got quite such a rich sort of colouring. Maybe it just needs a polish up. 1105 there. Nice. Round the corner then, and again, the usual.
Look at those.
Yeah, they're kind of niche, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
1161.
I wonder whether they're actually fashionable again. They probably are.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're very fashionable. We don't say
nice mirror.
It's not, surely. Nice mirror there, 1153. More exotic lamps as we pass by on a dresser. An early 18th century chest on stand of sorts, certainly of appearances.
I like this.
You would like it?
I wouldn't like it, but well, maybe actually.
Would you carry your
Isn't that
hurdy-gurdy in it?
fun?
What's
I could,
1117.
I'd put kindling wood or something
Perfect,
in it.
there we go.
It's just fun, isn't
1117.
it?
Yeah, it's not English, and nice metal, blacksmith made metal strap over the top. Yes, it has character.
That's
and
just what's so lovely about auction. You know, you look at these things and think that would really suit the house, or I really fancy that. And where else are you going to see something like that?
Where
it's
else
just
are you
fun.
going to see something? A nice bit of metal banding around there. It'll clean up and buff up.
Yeah, I like it. You can even put dried flowers or something in it, or pine cones, or
put in it.
Yeah.
This is what we always say. Mid-century furniture. Not everything mid-century is being held back because we're holding back the sort of better items. But that's a smart nest of tables, 1149. I can't see a maker's label on it, but it's just got nice sort of design elements.
Yeah.
Nice bit of moulding, touch of quality essentially. Some large early 19th century chests, a big armoire here, super armoire, great value these. You know, the classic sort of French model.
The doors have got a nice shape to them, haven't they?
They have got a nice shape to them.
And the metalwork as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Then we're sort of coming up to the history of Edwardian cabinets. Starting with 1171, this is probably nearer sort of 1920 to 30, but very crisply made and carved, with a bow front, sort of thing would have made a lot of money years ago, but then wouldn't all sorts of other things. But still, nice quality piece. Skipping over a couple of reoffers that we did talk about in a previous video, but are just a bit too lumpy and not quite stylish enough. And glancing at a very colourful chaise longue, 11 or daybed, 1143.
Yep.
Wow, look at that.
Yes.
Wake you up in the morning. Then we come to 1175. So here's a classic sort of arts and crafts inspired and period display cabinet. Kind of a bit Shapland and Petterish, but maybe not quite as fine as they would be. But some of the elements it's got that we like. This lovely open shelf here where you could display your Ruskinware or your nice collection of pottery and ceramics or what have you. These little bowed out windows are sweet.
Yes.
This sort of Scottish influence, think Rennie Mackintosh flower that's inlaid. Glass shelves which allow the light through and to show off whatever else you're displaying inside there. And then a really nice understage with these stylish squared columns and the pierced, almost Scots rose design there. So it's got a lot to go for it, I'd say, that 1175. Next to it, you could have bought that, you could have bought this. This is a bit more showy, should we say, with this serpentine front, ornate, sort of Hepplewhite inspired, French Hepplewhite inspired inlay. This is 1174. And the two side doors open, again, show off your collection of whatever you want to show off. And then here, another version, again, 1176. This time, some inlaid decoration, but also painted decoration, which again, the Edwardians really liked. And, you know, a drawer, that's a slightly unusual feature. And I think looking at this really rich dark colour, that's the colour it would have been when it was new.
Okay.
It was really quite something.
I like the little detail at the top, the little flowers.
Yeah,
That's pretty,
dinky, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, none of those are hugely in fashion, but still, there's a touch of quality and a bit of history in the making there, quite literally. And then finally, look at this, 1177. This is much more what they want, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
A rather smart mid-century chest with an unusual drawer arrangement. So we've got three graduated long drawers, but a taller drawer above them, a deeper drawer above them that needs a little help. And then this rather smart divided top drawer. Yeah, it
nice.
sort of ticks the boxes for what people want today. It's small, it's clean, it's got style about it.
I was going to say clean.
So it sort of makes sense why war people are chasing after that than they are the big Georgian mahogany chest. But we have both for you, I'm pleased to say. Let's go and look at, well, there's loads of garden stuff out there as well. So scan the website and look at various pots and benches and tables.
There is a lot.
Still time, it's going to be late summer. And then we'll go and see what's in the smalls. So here we are, in amongst the smalls. What have we got for you? Let's try and spot something a bit different to show you. Look at that. What is that, you say? It's a Victorian ormolu inkstand.
I don't
there's
think
a
I
well.
would have guessed that.
There's a well for one, and there's another. And I guess there's a sort of maybe a sort of pen rest arrangement there. So that's a bit different, isn't it?
It is.
You don't see those every day. Next to it, showing here, is lot 1254.
Yes.
This is Meissen, and we know that because we got the cross swords mark. And then it's inscribed with the views of Perna and Lochmuckle and various other places. Looks like it's got an element of, maybe it's got some printed line and then it's painted over. So it's slightly hybrid in decoration as far as I can see. Which suggests perhaps it's sort of Dresden rather than Meissen, but I'm not sure. Dan will have looked and made his mind up. Here's a blast from the past. Lot 1277. Look, it's Boris, the electronic chess game.
Wow.
From Applied Concepts Inc.
Goodness.
So you know that Boris plays black or white or both. There we go. Boris the chess game. So I don't know if it works still, but it's got to be a bit of a curiosity.
Yes.
Carrying on, we're seeing quite a few Chinese ceramics, most of them pretty modern but in the traditional style.
There's a very oily horse there.
Yes, he's a rather dark horse, isn't he?
Yes.
It's loosely signed up here, could be Clapton or something like that. It's dated 1901, but yes, it's a little bit dark. It comes with a Victorian chromolithograph. Then, carrying on round, seems like we've got a lot of booze there. We've got Snow White and Her Dwarves, lot 1310, by Royal Dalton. There we go. So fairly modern. Up
He's
on
a
top,
smart lion,
he's a
isn't
lovely
he?
lion, isn't he?
He's
So
gorgeous.
you see lions and you see etchings and you think Herbert Dixie, HD, Herbert Dixie there.
His Royal
His
Highness.
Royal Highness, original etching by Herbert Dixie. Dixie was prolific in producing images of lions and leopards and panthers and things, and they often have rather sort of romantic titles, very Victorian Edwardian, but rather nice things. That's a sort of modest size example. I think that's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
M. Watlin, or Watlins, or Watling.
Nice size.
Alton Broad, looking towards Yarmouth by Meredith Watling. There we go. 1923. Nice little oil that.
And you know, the other one I rather like are the daisies.
Do you know? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 1657 gets you some rather nice, sweet little daisies. You're absolutely right. That's quite a cute little thing, isn't it?
Isn't it?
What do we know about it? Not a lot. Winsor and Newton Limited of London. Canvas, so English. It's got some age. And with it, you get a
mother nursing
in a cottage interior. There is a cincture down the bottom. It's a bit bashed.
Yeah.
But there we go. 2 for your money. 1657. Nice daisies though, as said. 1667 catches my eye. Look at that.
Is that
Barrington
dirty?
Ward. Yeah, that's dirty.
Because it looks like it
Yeah.
has the potential to be rather nice.
It's rather fun, isn't it? So it looks like a London square. We've got a number that makes no sense to me. Might have been an old postcode or something, I don't know. But that's rather nice. I think that's got potential. 1667. Shelley tea set. We're going past. I recognise that style. Why can't I see a lot number? Because it's attached to this cup. 1317. Crown Devon, that one.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, a little mixed lot of semi-stylish ceramics.
Fancy clock.
It's a lot. Well, yes, it's a restoration kit. It looks like we've got all the bits here
Okay.
to put that finial back together. But yeah, classic sort of late Victorian Edwardian.
That's quite sweet, isn't it?
Yes. So this is a carriage clock or timepiece. What's the difference?
One chimes and one doesn't.
Very good.
Oh yes, got it.
1304, and because we haven't got a bell there or a gong, we know it's a timepiece. So it just tells the time. It doesn't strike a clock. Strikes, but a little bit different. Having this, I'm very impressed. Well done. keep studying.
Yes.
With the silver dial is a bit unusual. They don't make a lot of money, but it's a nice
That's
little
very
thing.
pretty.
50 to 100 pounds, I would suggest. There's a Snuffles up the top. Always like Snuffles. The West Coast there. Quite a nice Charles Johnston Payne work up the top. Let's go around here.
Okay.
Only because I think it might prove a bit more interesting.
Well, that catches my eye.
That catches the eye,
1679.
doesn't it? Yes.
Yes.
They look American. They look like they're printed on silk. So we'll be investigating those a little later.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's really had a good old rummage in the drinks cabinet, haven't they? And
They have, haven't they?
lots like 1375, you get an array of colourful things to drink. Nice big desk calendar clock there.
That's great fun.
1376.
Yeah.
Carrying on, Paul Evans, prolific local artist.
Oh, really?
Very much painted views across fields with flowers and grasses and then old barns and things like that.
And is this him here as well, 1681?
I think that is him. That's somewhat dropped in the frame.
Yes.
It's got a rather jaunty angle, but we've got a whole run of them coming down here.
Okay.
So here's another. And usually his title is written on the back, up the top in pencil.
Ah, okay.
Gathering Shadows, that one. You know, that's sort of...
that's a print?
No, that is an original, I would say, gouache, from the look of it.
Okay.
Definitely an original. Here's another.
What do you mean by gouache?
It's a type of, it's a bit like watercolour, but it's solid, it's body colour. So watercolour, when you paint watercolour onto a white piece of paper, depending on how much you've diluted it, it will smear and show a graduation of shade of colour. Whereas gouache is like poster paint, it keeps an even colour.
Right.
And it doesn't fade in sunlight as much as watercolour. So there's
something.
something to be said for it. Yeah. Little Liberty, always stop on a bit of Liberty.
Yes.
1358.
Pretty.
Very smart. English pewter, it says, not actually got a Tudoric stamp on it, but very much looks to be with that Knoxian design and the 4-figure number code upon it. So there we go, a little bit of collectible pewter.
That's very fancy.
This centerpiece bowl, yes, it is, isn't it? So what do we know about this?
It's got a bit of a crack.
1357
But it's,
is Victorian unmarked porcelain with a whopping great crack in. So what do you get with that to make it worth a lot? Well,
not
not a lot. You get this Coalport tureen.
It just caught my eye because it's...
Yes, it's rather thin lot, I think I'd say for that, but there we go. If you need a new cooker...
Oh, look, there's more.
Yes, there's more. That's of the type.
Okay.
1391, if you need a new cooker, there we go. We're throwing in a saucepan set with it. And look,
well, my niece is starting university. Maybe she can take it with her.
That's what they all need at university, is something for their pots.
Yeah.
So, yes, lots of pictures I'm seeing, which are all going to be hung and appear on the wall. We're going through those very shortly. Here's something you don't get too many of.
Oh my...
Look at that.
Gosh.
Lot 1400.
Wow.
Yes, it's got it all, hasn't it? So there's amazing cover with a complete calf or cow. Talking of which, the fiberglass cows last week.
Yes, they
£750,
well.
I think, for one cow, and yeah, they all went really well. So get your cows in here. Unmarked, it's a sort of stoneware type material. Love the crest and jasperware, the bees.
That's a dog, isn't it? Yeah.
That's a dog.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's all going on, and then with the stand.
Wow. I don't really have words.
No, it's got that sort of Germanic look, and it's clearly of some age, but it's quite a piece there. So there we go. Lot 1400. Something you don't see every day. There's a till down the end. There's ceramic jelly moulds. There are paintings of cattle. As ever, there's a complete array. Do you want a quick look at the other bits?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we're pleased we came behind here 'cause there's all sorts of goodies.
Yeah,
Look at this, 1434. This is bronze with a little bit of ivory. We've got the CITES permit for it. And it's just a sort of dressing table, cachepot type thing in bronze. Very much got the look of sort of Tiffany. I couldn't spot a mark, maybe my colleagues have. 1434. Carrying on, there's a fair bit of claret, or at least there's some Clarice Cliff in the sale, such as 1435, where you get the dish
Excuse me, I don't think I've seen that one.
and the rather wacky caster. Yeah, well, that's not an uncommon pattern.
No.
Down below, we've got some Goldscheider or Goldscheider type wall marks. There we are, Goldscheider, made in Austria. Wall pockets and wall masks, 1453. Next to it, we love the shape of this.
Oh, I like this, yeah.
Lovely shape. It's Clarice Cliff. Screams Clarice Cliff. Lovely pattern. Maybe those tulips are done. Great fun.
I love that.
Clarice is bizarre. Apparently, Paul was telling me this shape is not a popular shape with collectors.
Good.
1454. Good for you. There we go. Well, there you are. Look, you know.
Ooh.
Who is that?
Thank you.
That is lot 1455. There we go. That's different.
That's actually really amusing.
There's some cold painted bronzes here.
Oh, look at the
Pheasants
I like
and
those.
chickens, and he's not bronze, but anyway.
Get a toad for my mother.
You could get 2 toads for your mother. get your mother's toads here, so to speak. Some dinky little Dalton figures of sort of diminutive scale. A carriage.
Oh, do you know, it looks just like the other one, except in gold.
They're all, it is, isn't it? There are sort of different versions thereof. Book on Rolex up the top there. Dressing table mirror in silver. Good mixed lots of costume and other jewellery. Silver side, again, nice mixture of things going on under there. See, we've been quite busy in sourcing silver again. Things like this continental, I think this one's Scandinavian white metal, but it is silver bowl from 1935, lot number 1843. There's things like christening cans. Here's a Victorian one with the figural panels marked underneath. Barnard and Sons, there we go. That is 1838 in lot number. So yeah, a few bits of silver to have a nose through. When I see one of these, I'm always interested in what it gets up to. A rather elaborate combination.
Oh, I see.
So what do we think we've got going on here? That's where you keep your sovereigns. And then perhaps cheroots or something there. And that would, I guess, be the matches, your vestas. But then we appear also to have, we've got a toothpick there and a little pencil. So a nice sort of combination thing belonging to LMB, lot 1827. So yeah, nice little bit of silver there. There's some jewellery as well. There are all sorts of curiosities behind the counter, such as coins and silhouettes and Chinese hardstones and textiles and
plenty
what
of,
have you.
I would call them paperweights. What would you call them?
We call them paperweights.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So yes, nice lot here. This looks like cliché to me. You have to check. 1494. But yes, paperweights. Or it could be baccarat, I suppose. It's got the star engraved to the base.
Right.
And this lovely crisp quality. And
yes, it's super, isn't it?
one of the things you look for is no bubbles or no flaws as such. There's another one with the sort of Millefiori type, 1491. So quite a collection behind here.
A couple of these in the fine sale.
We do,
So,
yes.
So what? Well, I was thinking about in the past, but
Yes.
so what warrants them being worthy of going in fine sales?
So I think, like so many collecting spheres, there's the kind of the best and the rest, and these days there are some paperweights that make 1,000. There's some paperweights that make 10,000, but there are lots of paperweights that make a few hundred.
Right.
And the market has kind of separated between the very rare and desirable and the more commonplace, again, because there are fewer collectors coming into the market to mop up the larger quantity of more ordinary items.
Money are we talking about for these ones?
I suspect we're talking here from probably 50 to £100 for something like Queen Victoria.
Right.
1492, and then I would imagine going up to a few hundred, but we'd have to look and see who's dealt with those and thought more deeply about them. But that's what I consider it to be.
Right.
Jewellery?
Yes, please.
So a good lot of jewellery. It's been a couple of weeks, have been a little bit quiet, but we've certainly woken up this week. Starting down here, a large collection of assorted fob watch keys. So swivel seals but most of them seem to have a watch key involved for the winding of pocket watches. So we're looking looks like from lot 1877 through to 1883. So those are little telescopic pens or pencils.
That's so
pretty. So they will telescope out. There we go.
Oh, look at that.
And various firms made them. Morden is the one that comes up most commonly, but other people did it. So that's 1877, those little pens.
Very pretty.
Then 1878, look, really nice lot of assorted watch keys, or watch winders. Just quite an array. Someone's really been a fairly devoted collector.
Great.
1881 catches my eye because we've got the novelties in here. So look, there's a
gun.
A gun, and there are plenty of others. There's a horse head.
Oh, what fun.
Yeah, so interesting for those that find such things interesting, and I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that do. Otherwise, showing in here, well, let's just pick out a few. Aquamarine and Diamond,
Pretty.
1893.
Yep.
Nice quality.
Is that I can't think of. I've lost it. They're purpley job. Amethyst.
Purpley job amethyst pendant, diamond set suspension mount.
Very nice.
Nice, isn't it? Yeah, 1888. Nice quality that. 1888. Some Scottish brooches. We dwell on those too often, perhaps. 1896. A Chinese jade.
I couldn't see them. Can't see them.
Can't see them. I'll get them for you. But 1899, Chinese gold-mounted jade bar brooch there. I'll whiz to those Scots things. I do them too often, but there we are. There's those two. Those are lot 1896. What else did I see down here? Let's slide this up. Always interested in what's in a box, aren't we? There's a dinky little bar brooch there with some diamonds.
Yep, like that.
1910, that is, I believe. Over here, 1921, a travelling watch by Movado in, looks like gunmetal outer case. So it winds as you can hear it winding as you open and close it.
Oh, really?
Yep. That's quite clever, isn't it? There's a gold cigarette case in there. There are other items. Then coming forward to the second counter full of
Pretty
goodies. Here's a little interesting 1991. This looks like some sort. Oh, there we go. It's another travelling watch. Eclipse, I think that says, and Hamilton have also marked themselves on it. And Calcutta retailed it, no less. So they're very unusual. Travelling watch, not the normal model. We've got some interesting rings, I think. Let's have a rummage here. 1966. Well, that catches the eye, doesn't it? It's not old, but it's quite showy.
It is showy.
And you get a bit of emerald and diamond in there, and then you get a nice old, not quite sure what that was in there, some old signet ring, and then you get a strange sort of gem set ring, 1966. So good little mixed lot there for your money. More fancy sort of watchy things. This is lot 1959.
That's rather fun because it's like a bangle.
It is a bangle, isn't it? Yeah, with the stars, diamond set, diamonds here, diamonds everywhere.
Yes.
That's quite a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, very dressy.
Something for the gentleman, not much this week. An Omega in need of a bit of dial work.
Yes.
But smart dial, nice watch, all the same, 1961. And then, more rings. In fact, quite a good selection of rings in this sale. What are you pulling out? You're pulling out.
Yeah, it's pretty.
A pretty thing, as ever. So there we go. Good lot of jewellery. Good lot in general, really. Yes.
Yeah.
Happy with that, Sam?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yes,
good.
nice.
So
Nice
September is here. We're sort of running up to speed after our break, and building up speciality
sales.
Yes.
And fine sale.
Fine sale. All sorts going on.
We've got lots to consign to, haven't we?
We have consigned everything to us and we'll sell it. Yes, so all sorts going on. What are we focusing on soonest? I think it's the weapons, isn't it? Medals.
It's, coins.
And coins are the two specialist sales coming up soonest. Yes. So if those are on your radar, keep an eye out for those. Speak to Dan or I or James if you've got anything in particular you'd like to make those sales. Otherwise, please come along and have a look at this one. I'm sure you won't be disappointed, and we will look forward to seeing you. Thank you.